Turnovers just kind of jump off the stat sheet. What did you see as a reason? Was Minnesota doing something that was forcing them, and how do you feel like that impacted the game?
Yeah, I mean, we're minus 16 in scoring opportunities. Really hard to win a basketball game in that scenario, particularly against a team that can also get hot from three, which they did in the second half. And some of that were mistakes. Some of it was shot making, down the stretch. They made threes. We didn't make threes. I thought we had some good looks. As far as the turnovers, look, they're big, they're long, they're athletic. They pressure the basketball. They make everything tough. We're going to have some turnovers. Sometimes they force you into turnovers, which they did. We had, I think it was 3 shot clock violations. But we also had some unforced turnovers. Over-dribbling, trying to draw fouls, dribbling into traffic, trying to do a little bit too much with the basketball. I mean, for us, we generated a lot of really good shots tonight when we didn't turn the ball over.
When did you get wind that Luka wasn't feeling himself, and how did you feel like that impacted him?
He hasn't been feeling well for the last 24 hours. So I don't know how much he slept last night. He didn't feel well last night. His stomach was bothering him. He was vomiting all afternoon. I'm not sure what happened at halftime. I'll find out, but he's really under the weather.
It was tied at 103, I think, with about 4 minutes to go, and they were able to close with that run. Was there something in that timing of the game, obviously there's some turnovers, but that you felt like it made the difference in then being able to pull away?
Well, I think Anthony Edwards made a number of really good plays. I think the one that really stands out was the empty side when he raced the secondary defender. We ended up having to bring a low man, so we had basically 3 guys on him. I believe it was Naz Reid made the 3 from the left wing. Yeah. Then he makes a tough shot, but we're trying our best not to give up off the dribble threes to him in isolation. I mean, that's what he does. He shoots 10 a game, and he's elite off the dribble. So he just makes it hard. He's obviously very aggressive, and I don't want to oversimplify things, but on the road, especially with this crowd, the turnovers and then the sort of ignition that gets for the building and them scoring off that, and us not being able to sort of deflate the energy in the crowd is big.
You mentioned early in the answer, you mentioned that one sequence, but just overall in the game, what did you see from him in terms of how he attacked your guys' defense? I know it was a big talking point coming to the night. It seemed like, at least from my view, he did better just in terms of how he attacked you guys, in terms of patience, playmaking. I guess they told it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was across the board, and it wasn't just him. We couldn't contain the ball tonight. Our closeouts in the first quarter were god-awful, and I thought we did a better job in the second quarter, and then he just got into the teeth of our defense too much. The fact is we don't have quote unquote rim protection, and so if you give up blow bys, we're gonna give up something. We're gonna give up a 3, or we're gonna give up a shot from him at the rim. So again, he ended up with 29 on 26 shots. I think the playmaking was there again tonight, like it was in game 1. I think some of that, we did make it tough on him at times, but then you had McDaniels just absolutely kill us.
JJ, what did you make of LeBron's performance in the first half? He surpassed his individual game 1 and game 2 scoring output, but just doing everything on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, he's moving better. He seems like he's getting healthier by the day. It's typically a 1 to 2 week injury, and he's I believe it's been 2 weeks tonight, if I'm not mistaken, from the Houston game. So clearly he's moving better.
JJ, how can you guys, you mentioned the lack of rim protection. I mean, McDaniels in particular, right, seemed to be even more focused on it. I think he said something after game 1. Does that work have to be done on the perimeter? How can you guys be better at the rim, knowing kind of the size limitations and vertical limitations you guys have?
Yeah, I think it's just we've done it all year. When we've been at our best, we've been able to be physical on the ball and not allow blow-bys, and also it's not to say our guys, I mean, they exerted a lot of effort, they played hard, but the sort of early throw-aheads, the offensive rebounds, and I think we had 2 where we collected a rebound, we get back tapped, we give up a point. It's just, again, it's those things really, really accumulate.
How old is he?
40.
Yeah, 40. Okay, I just wanted to be reminded. Damn.
40.
Wow.
Austin Reed scored 20 points in the loss. He's speaking with Mike in the media.
Austin, what did you feel like the difference was tonight?
They won the possession battle, and then our 19 turnovers for 28 points, offensive rebounds. So it's hard to win anytime you give up, double-digit more opportunities to score. So we got to clean that up.
Clearly, Luka wasn't feeling well. Jay just said he was throwing up all day. What did you see from him, and how did you and LeBron try to take on a little bit more with him not feeling well out there?
Yeah, I just seen him. He gave it everything he had tonight. He played 39, 40 minutes. Did everything he could do to help us win. We had an opportunity. I think it was one possession game with 3 minutes left, and we just couldn't get it done.
What was the feeling like amongst you guys just now in the locker room, knowing that you were 3 minutes away from maybe going ahead in the series and looking ahead at Game 4 Sunday, quick turnaround?
Yeah, mood's good. We see the spots where we have to be better to win games, and we'll have to fix that on Sunday.
Austin, with some of the threes that you guys gave up in the fourth, did you see any trends in terms of, was it over helping or doubling on certain situations, or like what did you see in terms of how they got some of those looks?
I'll have to go back and watch the film. That's all I can really give you right now.
Well, when we spoke with JJ, he mentioned that ball containment is especially important for you guys because you guys don't have a traditional rim protector. How much did you feel that Anthony Edwards was able to better exploit that tonight compared to the first 2 games and the way that he attacked your guys' defense?
Ant's a really good player. He's going to play in this league for a long time, make a lot of money, get a lot of buckets, win a lot of games. So, that's what good players do. They figure it out. And we'll have to go back to the, drawing board and see what we can do to, slow him down and win on Sunday.
Hôm nay mình sẽ hướng dẫn các bạn cách làm một chiếc túi dây rút đơn giản từ len nhé. Nguyên liệu của mình cần có chính là len này. Mình sử dụng 3 màu sắc như thế này để làm nha mọi người. Trắng này, xanh và cam nha. Sẽ kết hợp lại với nhau. Sử dụng kim móc len để làm nhé. Kéo nữa này. Rồi bây giờ mình sẽ bắt tay vào làm. Đầu tiên dùng phần len màu cam đi.